love dragons. Everybody knows I love dragons. I mean, look at my shirt. Spyro is definitely my #1 favorite video game character of all time. I mean, it's not every day that you get to play as a dragon, but Spyro isn't like most dragons that you can play as. See, the reason that Spyro is so special is that, as I like to put it, he's a dragon with personality. See, he's the dragon that can talk, acts like a human, and is part of a dragon society. See, that's the problem with most dragons that you can play as in video games. They're all feral. They're all just mere creatures in survival games that don't talk, that aren't part of any society. They're not civilized. See, that's what makes Spyro so special. He's a dragon that you can play as that acts like a human. The only things that I know of, stories that I know of where that actually happens, is Spyro and Wings of Fire. I don't know if you should count Dragon Tales because that's a children's game, but then again, Wings of Fire is supposed to be a kid's book, but it should be appealing to all ages from the way I've read it. Anyway, that's the thing about most dragons in media. They're not intelligent. They haven't mastered civilization, and they don't speak like a human, they don't act like a human, But I love dragons like that. I love dragons that are intelligent like humans, who have society, and, well, you get the idea. Just think of Spyro and Wings of Fire and you get the idea. Yeah, I know in Wings of Fire they have societies, they have cities, they have structures, they are ruled by queens and stuff. Yeah. It really is an incredible world. But there really aren't that many worlds like that. I mean, I'm glad that it's unique, but I don't really think there's enough of it out there in the world. That's why I thought of making my own ideas for that. I mean, of course I have my Dragonman idea, but I'm sure a lot of people also like regular dragons as well. That's why I came up with the idea of Dazzle the Dragon. Can you imagine a world like Skyrim, ruled by dragons that are masters of elements, fire, ice, electricity, wind, earth, water, shadow, light, poison? Yeah, I get that idea from The Legend of Spyro. That's definitely one of my top most favorite video game series of all time. The Legend of Spyro is so unique, so much fun, and so creative. You would not believe how much of a cult following it inspired. There are so many people on DeviantArt who created these amazing comics with amazing lore behind them that are all about these dragons with society and all these stories of different dragons. Yeah, and it all has like a Lord of the Rings vibe to it. So it's not exactly like classic Spyro, it's a lot darker and more serious, much like The Legend of Spyro. That's the game idea that I have. There's this continent ruled by dragons that's overwrought with a war between two evil forces. An evil military group of dragons that thrive on certain dragon supremacy, and also these invaders from another continent that hope to destroy all the dragons and claim the continent as their own. Now, they have been waiting for a really long time for a new prophecy to be told, or for new heroes to rise, for them to be trained in the ultimate arts of secrecy. But so far, there has been no success in fighting these evil forces. Until, however, an orphaned dragon named Dazel seems to come out of nowhere. Nobody knows about this dragon. There has been no prophecies about an ordinary orphan dragon appearing and making a stamp on the age. But Dazel is about to prove to the world that even the most lowly and ordinary dragon can make a difference in the world and be a hero, and that you don't need an extraordinary prophecy or training in the secret arts to save your kind from evil forces. I have to admit, the whole chosen one thing is a great concept, but it's overused. That's why for this particular game idea that I have, the hero is just an ordinary unknown that lots of people underestimate for being a rootless orphan that has no origin. And there's nothing special about them, elemental-wise. Yeah. Let me know in the comments if you like that idea or something. But yeah, anyway, that's the problem with games where you can play as a dragon. Most of the time the dragons are feral, but the kind of dragon games that I want are dragons with civilization and personality. Like a whole Lord of the Rings vibe, but the dragons are the stars. They're the ones that live in the castles and run the kingdoms and stuff. Those are the kind of dragon games that I want to see. And I really hope that one day I'll be able to make one with a little help from some cool game companies. At least I really hope so. Yeah.